Jack to 7. What's going on out there, Williams?
My God, are you picking this up?
Look at that. Leviathan.
Currently with a Russian fleet in the Baltic Sea.
Currently it's rusted junk and we're looking at it.
Hey everyone, Sam here with HorrorMom.com, and today I'm here to share with you one of my favorite all-time horror movies. And why is it one of my favorites? It's got a great story, it's got horror, it's got makeup and special effects that I love, it's got a little bit of romance, it's got good comedy, it's got excellent characters that are super well developed, and it's a movie I can watch 100 times and then 100 times more. And this is 1989's Leviathan. And in Leviathan, we have a group of deep sea miners, and they discover a sunken Russian ship. And this ship contains a genetics lab, which apparently they had created some kind of monster. Now, I'm gonna say somehow that the genetics somehow get onto their ship, and they must try to destroy it as it picks them off one by one. And this movie has been called the Alien of the Sea because it's very similar in how the original Alien was as far as it works with, isolation and the suspense of a space thriller, even though we're down underwater. And I think that's one reason why I like it so much is because it does resemble that. And I love the Alien films. We'll get to that someday, I promise. But I do love the Alien films, and so it's no surprise that I love Leviathan. Now, one of the things that this movie does very, very well is character development. Right off in the beginning, there's an incident that really shows you everyone's personality and position. Clearly, they've been down there for a long time. Some of them act like they're like the other crewmates are their siblings. They argue, they banter, they tease each other. Some of them are just tired of the other one's crap, and you can just kind of tell that that's the situation. The dialogue between our characters is not only very revealing, but it's also rather entertaining. And even after this incident, the film takes another 10 or 15 minutes, and they really take time to develop these characters. They're really showing you who they are, and then there's a few bits of information that will definitely play out later. And I love how the film does that. Some of that stuff you won't notice until you see how everything goes, but everything is in there so that when the movie really takes off, we've done all the character development. We know who these people are because later on, there's going to be no time for little tidbit conversations. The actors in this movie do an excellent job. You have Daniel Stern, who was in Home Alone. He plays a funner, interesting character named Six Pack. He's very entertaining, I will say that. Ernie Hudson, who was one of the original Ghostbusters, is in this, and I find his character very endearing. He makes a lot of jokes that I definitely enjoy. I really liked his character. The shack boss, Beck, he is actually a geologist, and he's down there, and he has no business being a manager, and he kind of knows it. So there's a lot of different little clips that kind of show you that he's struggling as being a boss. And yeah, I think that the way that they portrayed his character, it was a really good idea to give him that struggle and then have him progress as the movie goes through. Another character that I really like is Willie, or Williams as they call her. She is another character I really like. She's kind of like the moral compass of the group. She's training to be an astronaut when she gets out of the sea. So I really like her. She's probably one of my favorite characters, her and Beck. So you have great characters. They're developed extremely well. There's so many horror movies, especially in the 80s, that they just glimmer over who the characters are, and it's such a mistake. When you actually take the time like this movie does to go over those characters in depth and give you a lot of who they are, even though you don't have much time, it pays off hugely later on. And any great horror movie does that. I think that the special effects and the makeup in this film is very good. It is a little dated. There's just a couple things, maybe 2 or 3 things out of 15 things that look a little bit off, but obviously they did not have CGI. Everything is special effects. I want to make a shout out to Stan Winston. He is an excellent special effects makeup artist, and he passed away in 2008, but I love pretty much all his films that he has done. I want to do a video on him because I think he is just so, him and Tom Savini, who is another special effects artist, I think that those two guys just really changed a lot of things. Stan Winston has much more to do with monsters and futuristic type of special effects, but he also did Pumpkinhead, Aliens. He was involved in Terminator 2. He was involved in the movie Wrong Turn that I did the other day, and he was involved in this film. And every time I see Stan Winston's name on something, I know that I'm going to be happy with the special effects. I love the way that they introduce us to this genetic alteration, I will call it. The way that they bring a few items back from the Russian ship that they find and what happens. I'm not going to ruin any of that because I think it's just so clever and original, but how we are introduced to that and how things spread or infect the crew was just genius. It's something I hadn't seen before, and to this day I just love it. I think it's such a cool story. There is quite a bit of investigation that they do with looking at the stuff that was on the Russian ship. I think that's another reason why I just love watching this movie, is listening to the dialogue between Beck and the doc as they are figuring out what is going on, what this Russian ship was up to, why it's at the bottom of the sea. Oh, it's just juicy, and it's creepy, and I love it. I think the sets in this film are excellent. They're very elaborate. One of the things that works really well for this movie, even though it is from '89, is that we don't have underwater stations. We don't have any of this equipment yet. So what they're showing us is exactly what I would envision, because we don't have anything to compare it to. So it looks up to date. I think that all the sets of the station underwater look excellent. The underwater scenes, I think, look great. The only thing that looks kind of outdated is the computers, which any movie that you look back in the past, the computers are always outdated. You know, they have a bunch of equipment, just like how in Aliens, there's all kinds of different monitors and things that are beeping and going off, and I think it looks beautiful. I really, really love the sets in this film. It makes you feel like you are down there. It takes you a place, obviously, that you've never been. Now, there is another movie that's very similar to Leviathan. I'm wondering if you guys have seen this. It's called Deep Star 6, and it also came out in '89. Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen that one, if you want me to do a review. I think some of the special effects or green screen type things that they did on that film have aged pretty poorly, but I would still recommend Deep Star 6 if you've never seen it. If you like Leviathan, I will think you would really like Deep Star 6, and vice versa, but I will say I think Leviathan is a much better film. So for the score, I'm going to give Leviathan a 9 out of 10. This is just one of my personal favorite movies, and I hope that if you guys watch this movie and you can see this is truly where my heart is in horror, these types of movies where you've got, you know, great characters and something different, and there's scares and there's a little bit of comedy and great makeup. I mean, this is just exactly my horror in a ball of what I like. Please check it out on Amazon Prime. I hope that you enjoy it. Whether you enjoy it or don't, come back and let me know. I'd love to know in the comments, what's a movie that you can just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch until you're blue in the face, because this is one for me. And I am working on something that has to do with Friday the 13th, so I will try to get that done as quickly as possible because I want to get that out to you. I think that will be fun. And other than that, you guys have an excellent week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank goodness you're still alive.
When are you coming?
I say we protect ourselves.
I realize you must have gone through hell.
Gone? Bitch, we still here.